Today I'm going to give you some useful ideas for easier watering. I'm in my greenhouse since that's where some of my plants are. Watering is probably the most time-consuming task that needs to be done, otherwise your plants will die, especially in containers. Sometimes you're simply too busy. Or you are going away on vacation for a few days and don't have anyone to take care of the watering. So having some kind of self-watering system, at least for your more sensitive plants such as tomatoes, is a great way to save time and not neglect your plants. I've compiled 3 ideas which I'll show you now. Keep in mind you don't have to use all of these, but try them all and see which one you like better. Alright, so self-watering idea number 1 is to take a regular water bottle like this one. What you do is you poke some holes in the screw top with a nail or a strong needle, and then all you do is you fill it up with water and you stick it upside down in a container, which I'll show you right now. Okay, so here we have the pot, here we have our bottle, and we're just going to literally stick the bottle in, press it down enough so that it doesn't move, and as you can see, it is actually already bubbling a little bit. And you can't see the bottom, but right now it is dripping water out very, very slowly. As the pot gets saturated, the water will actually stop and then it'll pick up again once the pot needs more. So you can also use a larger bottle if you have a larger container or are using this in a raised bed. Or you could also just simply use multiple bottles, and it should last at least for a few days. Self-watering idea number 2. Take a bottle or other container that will hold water. You could also use a bucket or something with maybe a lid just to keep the water from evaporating. So again, fill it with fresh water and place it beside the plant that you want watered, such as this pot right here. And then what you do is you take a cotton strip from an old bed sheet or a t-shirt that you've thrown out, and you dip it in water so that it's wet. This one I've already pre-soaked. You definitely want to pre-soak it. Put it one end in the container and then the other end into the pot. And the way it works is that capillary action should draw the water out of the container via the cloth and into the pot. And you can of course do multiple strips if you have other containers that you want to do with the same container. Okay, so we've got our bottle beside the pot, and we've got our end of our cloth. And what we want to do is just kind of stick it in, and we want to try to get a good video of this. You want to basically just kind of bury it in the soil a little bit, and what you can do is kind of adjust there. So that should draw the water from the bottle up and down into the pot. And if you've got another one like this one here, you obviously can then put it into another pot. Okay, so for self-watering idea number 3. Drip trays are a good idea just to keep water from dripping all over the place, but they also have one more advantage, even if you're not concerned about having dripping water like here in my greenhouse or maybe on a deck or a patio. They can actually self-water your pots. So you simply take a deep tray, like I've got these ones here which are fairly deep, and if you've got smaller pots, you can just go ahead with just some plastic trays that either are in your recycling box, or you could use an aluminum baking tray, an old one. I've got a few of those. Or you might be able to just go into the department store or the dollar store and just get some trays that are used for other things. For round pots, you can actually use the large foil takeout containers. Just make sure that they're well washed. And then so all you need to do really is take your pots, put them in the trays, And then make sure that your pots, of course, have drainage holes. That's important anyways. And then fill with about an inch or so of water. I'll give you a close-up of this. So here is a close-up of the tray. And as you can see, I've got a bit of a layer of water in here. You may want to occasionally clean the tray well, just so that you don't get any funny, smelly problems with the water and the tray. The important thing here is to try to actually let your trays dry up between fills, so that your plant's roots actually get a chance to dry out a little bit in between waterings. Otherwise you might have problems with root rot. So don't do this in winter, because then you'll have problems with dampness and so forth, especially here in a greenhouse. I usually take these trays out when it goes into wintertime. So those are the 3 ideas. You can mix and match, or stick with just one if you like how it works for you. Have a great day, and all the best.